That's a big surprise, a really big surprise. It seemed like there was something missing at the end of the story that I remembered had been there before. So I went searching on my files on my computer, and I was able to dig the little sucker out. So here it is, the actual final chapters of Hope's Kiss. This is after Innocent is said at the ending of that part that I did say was the end. 3 days after MJ arrived home, the charges in Canadian court system were dropped. A phone call came asking them to meet with a social worker at his office. When they arrived, they learned that a boy had been orphaned when his mother died of a drug overdose, and that they discovered that she'd been a distant cousin to Carrie. They could find none of his family in the US where he'd been born, so they began to research Canadian databases. Carrie was the closest thing he had to a relative who was appropriate age to care for him since her grandma was elderly. MJ and Carrie held each other's hands and looked at the man in shock. He asked if they would consider taking him. They looked at the other gravely, and MJ and Carrie burst into a grin and said, "Of course." He picked up his phone and spoke to someone, and the door opened inwards to allow a small boy to enter uncertainly. The social worker said, "This is Gary." Here's your hope fulfilled. I love you all.